Hi everybody! Hi Itamar! Welcome to another video by God Academy, and today we want to talk about Jaime, specifically his future, right? It's kind of hard to predict where Jaime's story arc is going.
Yeah, and contrary to the other characters, maybe you can even compare it to historical characters,
Right.
and they have like a clear path.
Like Daenerys.
Like Daenerys, that she starts somewhere and she finishes somewhere very different.
And she's either gonna win or die.
Yeah, and Cersei either gonna win or die because they played the game. Jaime is a little hard to pinpoint
Right.
his trajectory because he's like a roller coaster. He starts like as an antagonist to the Starks.
Right, and we don't like him at all.
Yeah, like this pretty boy, this
Right, smug.
stereotypical. I'm pretty.
Jock, whatever.
Jock, white privilege, blonde
Right.
privilege,
And then
Lannister privilege.
And then he gets caught, and then he gets away, and he's a super
He's
warrior.
losing a battle first to a 16-year-old, 17-year-old in Robb Stark.
And also he gets Cersei back, but then he loses her, and he gets her back again, and with Tywin his relationship goes up and down. So maybe the best way to find it out is to look at the story, at the other arcs of other characters, and maybe from there we can kind of figure out about Jaime.
He with a capital GRRM. The way he develops his characters during the series, he brings his character from one place to a totally different place, maybe even the opposite.
Right.
So for example, if Daenerys starts as like a
Commodity?
13-year-old that is like,
Yeah, like the big players, they use her
yeah,
as a,
to the
as a
highest
pawn.
bidder, whatever, as
Right.
like a political pawn. During the books, she's transforming into this mega conqueror,
Right.
strong figure.
My reign has just begun.
Right. She's protecting the weak.
So from
Right.
being the weak that needs protection, protecting the weak, releasing this from being a commodity as like a sort of a slave or sort of property,
Right.
to release the property
Right.
and say that people are
Right.
not property and whatever.
Right. And I think those story arcs are super compelling when you get to the very core of what the character is about. Like Tywin is all about his family, and then his family is the one that kills him, and he doesn't see his real family. I think that makes a great, super compelling arc. So let's look deeper into Jaime, and let's see what he is about, and then from that we can figure out maybe where he's going. He's introduced to the story as the main Stark antagonist.
Yeah. One of his first actions, real big actions, is to push Bran, and it's like you can feel the tension between him and Ned.
Right.
Ned doesn't like him, so
And he
doesn't
fights
like him.
Ned.
And
He fights with Ned.
Yeah.
And also he's at war with Robb.
He has this back and forth with Caitlyn, calling her a bitch or whatever, really disrespecting her.
Right. And because we love the Starks, so he's basically the bad guy for the first...
The Starks are the victims at first, but then he gets his point of view.
Right.
And that transforms him from like this, an actor in somebody else's play.
An extra.
An extra, and that transforms him to
a
real person.
And he goes through very dramatic changes in things that are very important. So one of his most important qualities for himself, part of his own identity, is that he is the best swordsman in the land.
And then his best hand gets cut off. His
Right.
fighting hand.
Right, so he loses that, and everybody says that he's super beautiful. I don't really see that, but whatever.
It's okay.
Yeah, I guess if you like tall, handsome, blonde men, I don't know.
And then he's like, he's losing it a little bit. So he's not that pretty boy anymore.
Right. He's in the mud, and you could say he's a handicap or whatever. Deformed.
He's
It's dirty, right? And he loses his mojo, like he loses his self-esteem, his self-confidence. He was super confident. He was super confident all the time, and then he becomes like kind of broken.
He learns a lesson in humility.
Right. And at first he starts as a amoral character, right? In his talks with Ned about the Mad King and with Caitlyn, he's like,
They make you swear and swear. Defend the king, obey the king, obey your father, protect the innocent, defend the weak. But what if your father despises the king? What if the king massacres the innocent? It's too much.
But we discovered that he's not really amoral. He basically saved King's Landings.
The King's Landings.
Yeah, King's Landings.
King's Landingsers.
King's Landingsers, yeah.
Right. And he didn't even stop to brag about it.
No. He's like, yeah, I prefer to be considered as this oath breaker,
Right.
but I know the truth. I saved the city from this madman when I
Right.
killed him.
And I paid the price. Also, he starts out like this aloof guy, doesn't care about anything, and he goes through this change that he becomes like sensitive, and he goes back to save Brienne, and he has this beautiful relationship with her, and you can see, and you can start to see his soft side. That's also a big change.
Yeah, he has a soft spot from being totally in love with his sister, which is kind of remind me maybe of the way Donald Trump is in love with his daughter.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Oh, it's so weird.
I think he just wants to sleep with her. I don't know if he's in love with her.
No, I think he's in love with her. I mean, it's like saying something about this character that the only person that he really loves and has like weakness towards is like the female version of what he used to be, like this young.
Or what he thinks he is.
What he thinks is like this young, beautiful, blonde,
Smart.
perfect, smart,
Smarter than
strong.
him.
Yeah. So in the sense, it's like it says something about Jaime that the only person that he truly can be open to and love and feel weakness is his twin sister.
Right,
So
female
he's-
him.
Female him, yeah.
And
Or female what he thinks of him, like this powerful person and whatever.
Right. And then we get the sense that he falls in love with Brienne, and he says that Brienne is nothing.
No.
She's not beautiful at all. She's
No.
the exact opposite. She's ridiculed because she's ugly,
Yeah.
while Cersei is revered because she's beautiful. So he goes maybe also from being like shallow to being deeper.
Yeah, even if he's not in love with Brienne, like per se, he still feels this knightly feelings toward her,
Right.
like his masculinity or whatever
Right.
is stirred up when he sees like
Right.
Brienne. He wants
Right.
to help her and he wants to make her
Right.
be accomplished and whatever,
And he respects her
and
also.
respects her. Yeah, so he has this weakness, from a weakness towards this beautiful, one of the most beautiful girls in the kingdom. He has a weakness to one of the ugliest girls in the kingdom, who is not really even a girl in her gender
Right.
role. You know,
Right.
she's not a
Right.
queen. She's just
Right. And she might be a better fighter than him also, we don't know. And some more radical changes that he goes through. He goes from being supposed to be the next Tywin to a loser, loses to Rob, as you said, and becoming a captive and then getting his hand chopped off, so he loses all his mojo. And also at the beginning, he's very rash. Always thinks with his right hand, and then afterwards going to the Riverlands becomes like a wannabe diplomat in some way.
and from being a puppy to Cersei, one might argue betrays her.
Right,
Or
in the books.
In the books, or now will go to a process of betraying her, which
Right.
means like leaving her in her most vulnerable state.
Right, right. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning, to the first thing we talked about Jaime, where he's introduced as this main Stark antagonist, and maybe he will go from that place to being a Stark loyalist and team up with Sansa and with Jon, go north.
He is known as a Kingslayer,
Right,
and as an oath breaker.
right. That's very deep. That's,
And-
it's very heavy.
And he took an oath
Right.
to protect the kings
Right.
and his family and whatever, and he kills the king.
When I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? You're a servant of justice. That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back.
The oath that he took in front of Caitlyn, that he would protect
Right.
her daughters, that he will
Right.
help them reach safely back home.
Right.
And so maybe this arc will go from this oath breaker to an oath keeper, like the sword.
Yeah. That's a foreshadowing for sure. Okay, עכשיו אנחנו אומרים, how will that play out? Okay, so how will that play out during the story? We know from the books that he has to leave Cersei. He can't stay with her. So that will, and we got hints for that in the last season's finale. When he's going to leave King's Landing, he will have to go somewhere. I guess he can meet up with Daenerys, but he kind of killed her dad, and I'm not sure she will forgive him so quickly, and I'm not sure that he'll want really to do it.
No.
So it makes
From
more
one
sense.
crazy queen to another crazy queen.
Right. So it makes more sense for him to head north and to go to the Starks.
It's kind of a long shot because, Sansa needs to forgive him. But she has Brienne on her side, so maybe there will be something like that. And she's
Right.
realpolitik, and
Right.
or should be realpolitik. But still, they will have to manage a scene in which there is some kind of like
Awkward silence and
awkward silence, like this. Jaime said, "Okay, I'm with you now because I took an oath with your to your mother," and
Right.
it's a long shot. It's a long shot. I mean, it will have to be played very, very, very wisely, story-wise.
Story-wise,
yeah,
right,
story-wise.
right. And if he does go from being the oath breaker to the oath keeper, which I think he will, then maybe he will join Sansa's Queen's Guard, or maybe even become her Hand of the King, of the Queen, maybe, and he will become the next Tywin after he was supposed to be the next Tywin, then he lost everything, and now he will become the next Tywin.
So losing his hand will bring him full circle as being a hand.
Oh. Wanna drop the? I'll drop it for you.
Sure.
Boom. Called it. Confirmed. Boom. Called it. Confirmed.
Or it could be like fulfill his oath and then just be killed or executed or something like that. That also could happen.
How about that? Maybe Jaime will end the story as a Kingslayer, but this time in an honorable way. He will be the one to slay the Night King.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
He might marry Sansa. He's a beautiful knight. Maybe it will go full circle and she will marry a beautiful knight. Yeah, probably not, but I'm
Yeah.
putting it out there. So what do you think? Do you see a different trajectory for Jaime? If you do, you should mention in the comments and subscribe to get all our videos. And if you are already subscribed, you should look at the bell icon next to the subscribe button and you should click it so you get notified with every new video, because we're now posting 2 videos per week, maybe 3, and during the season we're gonna post a lot more, so definitely do that.
Twitter, Facebook, check it out.
Check it out. And if you haven't watched our Advising the Iron Bank video, we had a lot of fun shooting that video. A lot of fun. We're like an advising firm for the Iron Bank, so watch it. So thank you very much, our patrons, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody!